enjoy the fruits of our labor and take a day off. Hopefully, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But I'm looking forward to sharing this live broadcast and being able to share some knowledge and information that can change your life, because it's probably something you haven't thought about. It's so obvious. It is so right there in front of our face that we can have what we need in order to have a better quality of life and do it naturally. We're going to sweeten up this show today because we're going to talk about honey. Not your significant other honey, but from the bees. You know, the one that actually, I've got this right here and that shows the bee honey. Okay, this is that part of the hive, and this one right here on the front part is capped honey. This on the back hasn't been capped yet. They hadn't finished filling it up, and then they take and preserve it by capping it over. So what I'm showing you is where in the hive it looks like when we take it out and we put it into a bear, a jar, or something like that. You need to write down your notes on today's program, because you need to understand that we're going to be talking about, in my opinion, a miracle food. A food that can change your life and your health. Going to show you how we get imported a honey called Manuka. And they actually, on the label itself, it says certified medical grade. Do I need to send that to you again? Yeah. Certified medical grade, and it's a grade 12 plus dietary supplement, methyl-globule 400 milligrams, and this is a MgO 400, and this is considered a medicinal honey, and they sell it for that purpose. So God knew that already when he had the bees in the Garden of Eden. Yeah, of course. And Manuka Guard complies with and supports MPI, the New Zealand Ministry for Primary Industries regulations enforcing label claims on genuine Manuka honey. Okay, they back it up. Naturally occurring methylglycanol is a marker that is present in genuine Manuka honey. The Moline Gold Standard references this market as tested and certified by an accredited laboratory under the, and they have little numbers here, ISO 17025 standard. And so product of New Zealand, wild harvested, genuine Manuka honey. Available for you at Remedy This Naturally, 1140 Bienvenue Road. What we try to do is help you understand that there are natural ingredients in products. Natural products are things that have been learned about over the years that benefit us and have a quality of life for us. I mean, honey actually kills bacteria. Honey on the skin. And I want to share with you about the bacterial condition, or that what can happen, and why it is available for you to be able to do this, and how you can do. I would use a bear or whatever was available for me. If the Manuka honey was available for me, I would actually use it. I would use the darkest honey I have to put on a burn, and I have seen burns that look just really nasty, and by being able to put the honey on there, it healed up. And there are other things that we can do that help get rid of skin infestation. And that would be like zinc, vitamin D, garlic, probiotics, honey, essential oils, vitamin C, and tea. Now, they are all beneficial for bacteria that might be on your skin, and it helps to skin bacteria, skin burns. All of those things are really great to be able to see how a natural substance called honey can take care of that. Now, the honey that we carry, main supply of honey, is raised right here in our triangle area, and Roger brings it in and makes it available for us and tries to keep it where it is as pure as possible and make sure there's no refinery involved in the honey, that it would be able to be used and get the maximum result of the therapeutic benefit of the honey. Let's talk about that for a little bit, okay? And you're going to put a clock in so I know where to quit. But honey, talking about it, in the hive it looks like this. And you know this is all made in the dark. The honey has no lights on in the honey house, so to speak, and they do this in the dark. And it's so cool. I love this in the comb. I love taking it and using it and eating the comb and all. It's really great. What's even better, in my opinion, is when the bees are bringing in the pollen and we're able to cut this off. It has pollen already in there, which they feed the bees, and I like them sharing it with me, whether they want to or not. Okay, hey, that looks good. Honey, broad, antimicrobial, and wound healing actions are well established. I'm not talking about something that is being made up. I'm not talking about something when it comes to honey that does not have a paper trail of study and test it, try it for us to know that we're getting something that is beneficial. I'm also going to talk about the Manuka honey and the benefits. There's 7, 10 different things you can use it for. Right now I'm talking about the antibacterial properties of the honey. Not only is that the Manuka honey, that is the honey that's raised right here in our area. And I would challenge you to try it to see how well it is. And then in here is on the little bear, it says, all pure honey will crystallize. To liquefy crystallized honey, heat a pan of water to 150 degrees, remove from heat, and place the container in a pan until liquefied. Do not refrigerate honey. Do not put honey in the microwave. So that's what's important, that we do it that way. I'm going to see in my book here that is really a kind of whole lot of good stuff here. But in this particular case of what happened here in the book, it talked about the bacterial skin infections and are usually caused by Staphylococcus aureus, but a range of other bacteria can also infect the skin. The rising prevalence of antibacterial resistant bacterial strains, including MRSA, poses a serious treatment challenge. So we've got now a challenge that some of the things that the medical profession is using for the bacteria is not working to its best. You know, the body kind of builds a resistance to it in the and the bacteria says, hey, look, I want to live. whether I'm a good bacteria, bad bacteria. I want to live. So what we do is we find out that you can use some of God's creation by something called honey in helping with that. So I started out by reading honey's broad antimicrobial. In other words, it's a large spectrum of things that it can help with. And wound healing actions are well established. And that's where I broke off and started going and saying, hey, this is not something new. This is something that is tested and tried from creation's time itself. It has been used historically as a topical treatment. So that means we can put it on our skin, right? Topical. For non-healing wounds and ulcers. Whoa. The reason I am so excited about being able to bring this to your television set is that it is used historically, a topical treatment. Now, the other part of this sentence, you need to just hold on to it, because if you are having some of these things that are not being healed, you may want to check out the topical treatment for non-healing wounds and ulcers. So if there is an ulcer, if there is a wound that's not healing itself, make sure you get a honey that has not been pasteurized or homogenized, and that it's in the form that comes from the beehive. In other words, like this here, coming from the beehive, that's what it's going to look like. I just happened to cut this one up and made it available so you guys could see it. These come in hives. They come in frames, and we put it there. The bees build, and we usually give them a foundation to start with. And right in the middle here, I'm trying to think where I can get a good sign, come right in that area here, and there is a top and a bottom, or a bottom and a top, whichever way it is, because it's actually in the hive this way. There you go. Oh, good. Thank you, Lee. You're good, buddy. Now, isn't that pretty? That is absolutely gorgeous. I love my honey. I'm going to flip it up on the side, and you see right here, if you'll notice that along in here, see this, where they've made this cell and they filled it up, and then what they do, they cap it off, and it can last indefinitely. In other words, if it's in a problem, you just got it, you've been out of the hive, sometimes you can put it in the freezer for a few days, and that would make sure it kills any wax moths that may be in the area there of the honey. But this is what it looks like. Stands up on end. The bees work both sides of the hive, of the comb in the hive, and that is cool. And then what we do is we take it, cut the tops off of it, and the cappings as they're referred to, and as we take that, then we put it in mine's a manual machine. We take and sling the honey out of here, empty the, let's see which one's had the best. There you go. Empty the comb of here out, and as we empty it out and we get the honey, we strain it, and we actually put the comb that's in the frame back into the hive. So that's one of the reasons you don't see too much of the honey like this here being purchased, is because it's more productive to cut the tops off, empty the cap, the toppings, empty the out of here like that. That's what it looks like when it's cut off. But empty it out, and then all they got to do is the bees go back, refill it up, put the caps on it, for our benefit, and we can take and sling it. When you take this out, you take a lot of honey away from us, the bees, and you got to put it back in there. The other thing is, then they would do something like this, take the Manuka honey and put it there for that benefit as well. And then there are things you've all seen, the little honey bear. I have them in little 16-ounce little jars. The honey's there. Okay, I think I got a close-up on that. You did a good job on that, Lee. Thank you so much. Got to where I kind of get you tuned into the honey there, right? And it says topical treatments for non-healing wounds and ulcers. Non-healing. Not only is that for the wounds and ulcers, but for boils, and boils can be, I love to be able to put the honey on it so it don't have to lance that sucker and drain it out. Various skins infections, and its benefit has been attributed to its acidity, hydrogen peroxide content. Now, you guys are familiar with hydrogen peroxide. You use it to clean wounds with, cuts, whatever it may be. Keep it on hand. Always in the emergency kit to have hydrogen peroxide. But just so you know that this honey is acidic, and it is hydrogen peroxide content, nutrition and antioxidant content, and immune modulating activity. Now I'm going to take my time on this today, because I know every one of you that are in the audience can benefit from this, and I know some of you in the audience have situations where you need this honey, and most of you probably never ever even thought about using it topically. Now, it is a little sticky. It's okay. It'll wipe off. And I'm going to go back in a minute and reiterate what I just said about what it does and what it helps with when it comes to bacterial skin infections. Now, it's not the only thing, but it is the topic that I'm choosing to share with you at this moment. I can also go in here and say that if there was skin infection, bacteria on the skin, we could take and spend time talking about vitamin D. We could spend time talking about garlic. We could spend time talking about probiotics. And we could spend time on talking about essential oils, vitamin C, and tea. Like, didn't bring my cup in that has my green tea in it, but green tea is nurturing. So let's move a little bit further in the conversation here. Honey collected from different parts of the world has demonstrated that antibacterial actions against both hospital-acquired and community-acquired MRSA cultures. That's worth stopping on. Honey collected from different parts of the world has demonstrated. So what would be a different part of the world? New Zealand would definitely fit in that category, and therefore from a different part of the world we end up with Manuka. Okay? And I was out of town on Saturday. There was a festival going on in Lillington. I stopped. Halifax beekeepers had a booth set up, and I had to get me some of their honey. I tasted it. It was so good, so smooth. And so I bought some for me. I bought some from other people that I know. We make trade-offs. We trade honey for hot pepper sauce. Those types of things. And I went in, and this is one of the bottles I did buy. And look at the color of that. The color of this is so golden. The other's in a dark thing, but different nectars make different honeys. If you were to get something like alfalfa honey, it's pretty clear. You get something like buckwheat, and it's going to be dark. It's going to be like the Manuka in the way it looks. It's a little bit more strong. You're saying you're getting honey and it's sweet, but and then you get something that's a little tart. Yeah, and the reason for that, if I'm talking too fast, I apologize. I'm gonna slow down. The reason the honey is darker, it has more antioxidants. Yes, you can purchase the honey at Remedy This Naturally, and okay, yeah, check it out. So let me go back. Honey collected from different parts of the world has demonstrated antibacterial actions against both hospital-acquired and community-acquired MRSA. In laboratory studies, guess what we're going to talk about now? New Zealand, Manuka honey works synergistically with antibiotics to clear certain strains of Staphylococcus aureus, including MRSA. So there are proven things that have been done with the Manuka honey from New Zealand, that it is an antibiotic against certain strains of Staphylococcus aureus, including MRSA. So it's an option. It's the way to try. If something's not working, if what you picked up at the hospital is not being gotten rid of and is causing a problem, honey is a good way. I'll just tell you this and slide it in as a little footnote. Honey and garlic. Got a nephew that loves taking garlic with fresh honey and letting it ferment till it gets done, and he eats that stuff. Yeah. You ain't got to worry about a 6-foot rule no more. All you got to do is start eating honey and garlic. But no, it is powerful, therapeutic. And the best thing I like about it as an herbalist is healing. And it's from God's pharmacy. Woo! Bless you, Lord. Thank you. All right. In laboratory studies, this is just not the word of the mouth of somebody else, but scientists have gone in and says, why is it that the Manuka honey is offering and killing Staphylococcus, and why is it happening? What's going on? So they said, okay, let's do a scientific study. And they did a scientific study, and they said the honey worked with the antibiotics. It wasn't something that you said had to be taken away and interfere with. And I think you could even run that by your healthcare professional and say, do you mind if I try some honey from Manuka from Remedy This Naturally? And bottom line is, I think Doc's going to say, what you got to lose? You need to be healed. You need to get rid of this. So it's not something that you pass along to somebody else. In a clinical trial, children with bacterial abscesses related to a condition called pymyositis, pymyositis, were treated with surgery and oral antibiotics. Following surgery, their wounds were packed with gauze, soaked with either honey or commonly used antiseptic. Those treatments with the honey had faster healing wound and shorter hospital stays. In a case reported, topical honey effectively cleared a MRSA skin infection in an immunosuppressed patient. It's powerful. What I've shared with you in the last 27 minutes is powerful. It's knowledge. It's simple, non-harmful. And it is something that the studies show work. Okay? They work. I mean, let me jump from a moment here. I'm going to share something with you. Let me see if I got the right one. Oh, I got a chart here. And Lee, if you want to zoom in on that and give everybody a little idea of how you can take and replace. Okay, that's good. Replace honey. You're getting rid of sugar. Okay, conversion. 1/4 cup of sugar, all you need is 3 tablespoons of honey. 1/3 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons. 3, okay, no, same thing, 3 tablespoons of honey. So whether it's a 1/4 cup or 1/3 cup, all you need is 3 tablespoons of honey. On a 1/2 cup of sugar, all you need is a 1/3 cup of honey. And then I'm going to scoot it up here a little bit. And then 1 cup sugar, all you need is 3/4 cup of honey. And 2 cups sugar, 1.5 cups of honey. So drop it back down a little bit, give your replacement sugar with honey. Most people don't know how to do it. And there again, if you have any issue that sugar is a problem and you've got to watch it because of having diabetes, please take that into consideration. Okay, I'm going to drop this down. But I have here we were just talking about the skin part and putting it on topically. Honey scrub for dry skin. And this is for an exfoliating remedy. In other words, if you need to get rid of dry skin, this is what this is for. You take 2 tablespoons of honey, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of plain yogurt, and 3 tablespoons of oatmeal. And that is, the rolled oats work good. Or, just take the oatmeal there. So, everything is 2 tablespoons except the oatmeal, which is 3 tablespoons. The ingredients are honey, olive oil, and plain yogurt. Now, what are you going to do? I'll drop that down a little bit. In a small bowl, you want to mix all the ingredients into like a smooth paste. Apply to skin. Do not put it in your eyes. Leave on 5 minutes. Wash off with warm water. Then splash. You can use your face with cool water. So this is exfoliating. Most people do this to kind of give that beauty look. Then splash face with cool water. Store extra in the refrigerator. It makes about a 1/2 cup. So you can use it exfoliating for your face. Yes, I can. Okay, here's a simple exfoliating remedy. Honey scrub for dry skin. 2 tablespoons each of honey, olive oil, plain yogurt with 3 tablespoons of oatmeal. Mix it all ingredients in a small bowl till it becomes a smooth paste. Apply to skin, avoid the eyes, and leave on 5 minutes. Wash off with warm water, then splash face with cool water. store extra in the refrigerator. Makes about a half a cup. Okay? Wonder where you whacked all that way. We're just going to take. There we go. Got rid of that all for next time. So just shared a remedy with you. Also have a remedy for grandma's homemade cough syrup. And that's very important for us to not be coughing. We're avoiding this by wearing masks. There's actually even, when it comes to the Manuka, they actually make a mask that they use the Manuka honey with, and it's soaked, and so when you're breathing in the healing powers of the Manuka honey. Eucalyptus is another way of doing that. Okay? Grandma. We were going to get grandma, right? Yep. Now, you're going to love the first part of this. Take 2 to 4 hard peppermint candies. Okay, everybody loves peppermint candy, right? Half crushed, crush half of them. So if you use 2 to 4, use 1 or 2, crush it. And a half cup of boiling water. Juice of 1 lemon, which is about 2 to 3 tablespoons. Now, most of you may not have this ingredient, and I'm not sharing it with you so you have an excuse to go to the liquor store. But Grandma, she knew Pa already had some of that Southern comfort, so she'd use a half cup of bourbon or whiskey with 1.5 cups of raw honey. So she put all that stuff together, and in a small bowl, place the crushed peppermint and water, stir until almost dissolved. Stir in lemon juice, bourbon or whiskey, and honey until well combined. In a 1-quart jar, place remaining peppermint candies, pour in the honey mixture, let cool, makes 2 1/2 cups, and you use about 1 to 2 tablespoons every 3 to 4 hours as needed. So, just throwing out some things to you. Just letting you know this was something that was depended upon before there was the relevance of having a liquor store on every corner, so to speak. Yeah, and they had one there. Peanut butter oat snacks. And so those are some things that are there. Honey butter. Oh, this one is really nice. Okay, take 1 cup, 2 sticks of salted butter. And if your salt is a problem, use one unsalted. Really doesn't make that much difference except for those of us who love salt. We go ahead and make the butter, the 2 sticks of it, soften at room temperature, get you a 1/4 cup of honey, and then in a mixing bowl, add the softened butter and the honey. Get a whisk attached on your mixer and whip on high speed until smooth and completely combined. Serve with your favorite toasted bread or other recipes. Transfer any leftover to a jar or container, cover and refrigerate. In between meals, makes 1 cup. So, just these things are kind of cool. I just thought you guys would love knowing the benefit of honey. These other ones are like honey muffins, zucchini bread, and those are things that are there available for helping you enjoy God's loving, nurturing from the hive bees product, and that is honey. Okay, I'm going to take and share with you. Let me see where I want to go from here. Okay, I want to go back and spend a little time on sharing with you because it's all pretty beneficial to our life and our health by using the honey. I'm going to go and I'm going to go back to my thing here and see if we'll bring it back up, because I had some really great things to share with you, and somebody didn't change that. Okay, and you can actually check this out as I'm doing it. It'll benefit you. You can do it right along with me. We're going to go to Google, and there's several different sites that are very good. How Manuka honey can change your life, and that's Marie Clary. And then it's for the health and wellness of, but I want to go back, and this one actually came out here in March of 2021, and amazingly, so it has to do with 8 things you can do for Manuka honey. Manuka honey benefits, 8 amazing health benefits of Manuka honey. And this is what we're talking about. This is from Remedy This Naturally, 1140 Bimini Road. And Manuka honey has gathered a chorus of fans over the last few decades. People are not only excited by its rich, earthly taste, but also the health benefits of Manuka honey. So we have done this for years. And the reason I got involved in beekeeping was I wanted to make sure that we had a source for being able to have an antibiotic, have antibacterial, antimicrobial, was coming from God's creation, the little honeybees. So that was my reasoning for getting involved in honey trying to shop in honeybee production. So what are the benefits of Manuka honey? What is Manuka honey good for? And is it that makes Manuka so good for our health? What is it? And so we're going to talk about that, and what is the general health benefit of Manuka honey. So this is where you can start writing stuff down if you want to. This is where I'm going to share with you common knowledge on the internet that is there for your reading. And then you can come down to Remedy This and pick up your supply of honey. Manuka honey has a strong antiseptic, antimicrobial, antioxidant, and anti-inflammatory properties. These are all valuable when it comes to treating a range of diseases. Thanks to the high level of hydrogen peroxide, all raw honey has antiseptic properties. That means they are great in killing germs. Research shows that Manuka honey can destroy a wide range of bacteria, including those resistant to antibiotics. Now this is critical, especially going into hospital getting staff, or we needing something, shaking hands, or we're worried about the epidemic. And I like to know that the Manuka honey can destroy a wide range of bacteria, include those resistant to antibiotics. Also, your American honey, don't underestimate it. A lot of times, here's what happens. You take somewhere like New Zealand, they're encouraged by the people and the government to learn more and use it because it's less expensive to keep the population well when you're using a natural substance. We have a tendency here in the United States to let the pharmaceutical companies dictate to us and not what God has given us in the honeybee. The honeybees are being killed by the pesticides. Our population of honeybees, folks, are down. And what I'm trying to say, if you see a swarm of honeybees and you don't kill them, please call me. I'll come get them. Okay? I will come get the bees, or I will send somebody that's a beekeeper to get them from you. So we need all the bees we can get. Putting poisons on the flowers. About the time the bees do pollinate cotton honey, and it's not the most desirable one, but when the people go put the defoliant on there and then the bees go out, it's probably going to kill them, and they cannot bring anything in from the hive. So we've got to work with, and we as beekeepers, when it comes to having our hives registered, and when a farmer is getting ready to put out pesticides, and they're going to do it at the dawn or the evening or whatever, we can cover up our hives. We can make sure they don't fly, or do it when most of the bees are at home, as in the evening or early morning before they get out and start collecting their pollen and nectar. So it's critical to keep the bees population up. Manuka has powerful antimicrobial effects, allowing it to treat a range of skin conditions caused by mold or fungi. Manuka contains antioxidants that hunt down dangerous free radicals. These can damage tissue, leading to cancer and aging. I had a hard time reading that one. Let's do that one over again, okay? Thank you for your patience on that. And goodness, God, what's that man talking about? Manuka contains antioxidants that hunt down dangerous free radicals. These can damage tissue, leading to cancer and aging. Also, there are studies that show that the honey can help with the reversal or taking and putting in remission skin cancer by using honey. Okay? With all the purported Manuka honey benefit, it's no wonder this honey is a growing popularity around the world. It's so good. We carry it. I carry Rogers honey and some other honeys there. Raw honey is an incredible complex product and contains about 200 substances, but Manuka honey is even more remarkable. In the mid-1980s, a New Zealand professor, Peter Olin, discovered that Manuka contains unique chemicals in addition to the bacterial fighting properties of hydrogen peroxide. He showed that the high levels of MgO in Manuka honey produces strong antibacterial effects. Manuka honey can have MgO levels up to 100 times that found in other raw honeys. The amount of MgO has become an important way to rate the purity and strength of Manuka honey. These days, all Manuka honey exported from New Zealand must be tested by a government-approved lab. NZ Manuka must also bear a UMF or MgO rating to show that it is genuine. The one we got, I believe, is a 12. Have is a rating on there. Looking forward. Okay. This actually, ours has an MgO of 400. So it's rated at a 400. Okay. Research into Manuka honey is still ongoing. There is still a great deal to discover, and the complexity of this product makes it difficult to study. While scientists have shown that Manuka does work for certain ailments, their findings are also inconclusive. This is because of the variation between honeys. Manuka is not a drug that can be consistent, made into the like in laboratory. Even the purest monofloral Manuka has variations between different batches and seasons. That's why if you are buying a Manuka honey, you should also check the label and see if make sure it's there. We have the same situation in because understand this. Really, this is critical. Everything, every plant, every honeybee, every item that God creates has its own rating. And they're not consistent with man's laboratory's rating. But I trust them. And no matter what it is, I'm going to use it to help if I need it. Okay? Now, let's talk about Manuka honey on wounds. Availability to heal wounds is no longer seen as an alternative medicine. Now, you heard that statement, right? Because I said something earlier about they had to have the honey in order to heal things that were not being able to be taken care of with medication. So it can do over and above what some medications can do. When it comes to dressing wounds, it works very rapidly due to its high level of sugar, which act to draw the fluids out of the wound. Applying Manuka honey on wounds helps to remove any diseased matter and clear the wound of dirt and debris. Also, the anti-inflammatory effects of the Manuka reduce tissues swelling. Not only that, Manuka seems to stimulate the immune system to regenerate tissue more quickly. No wonder Manuka honey wounds care. No wonder Manuka wound care is on the rise. Manuka honey on burns. Research suggests that Manuka honey has some unique advantages when it comes to treating burns, as well as being antibacterial and anti-inflammatory. Honey creates a physical barrier and a moist environment. This is particularly good for healing burns because burn wounds heal faster if kept moist. Also, using honey means that bandages are less likely to stick to the wound. That means dressing are less painful to change and more gentle as regenerating tissues, as well as acting as a barrier that prevents reinfection. Manuka honey has a nutritional action. That nutritional benefit helps wounds heal more quickly. Honey has a soothing effect for most patients, reducing the pain of the burns. This is partly because Manuka can reduce inflammation that sensitizes nerve endings. With all these positive effects, medical grade Manuka honey can be an effective way to fix skin grafts with no need for suturing. Manuka is quicker, easier, and cheaper than other methods. So, we're getting there, folks. It is so important. Manuka honey for skin infection. The ancients, I told you it went back a long time. And it went back a long time, they didn't have consistency in their medications. They had effectiveness in their natural medications. The ancients have long understood the advantages of applying honey to the skin. They used honey both as a beauty treatment and to treat serious skin diseases. Now modern science is exploring specific advantages of Manuka honey skin care. According to research, a number of skin disorders respond well to Manuka, although, here we go again, these studies are often quite small. I mean, you're not going to have Big Pharma going out and doing a lot of tests and finding out Manuka honey you can take and you can make it in a cream and a salve, and you can go buy it and remedy this naturally. They can't get the money back. So trust the ancient way of doing things. Trust the way God did things since the Garden of Eden. Give God some credit, folks, and quit trying to, oh my God, here we go again. Go with the science. Go with the Garden of Eden. Okay? Not that it's not important, but I think when one tries to overdo the other, and we can work together where the raw honey is not going to interfere with the antibiotics. It is an antibiotic and it worked together. And I tell you what, keeping things moist so when you change the gauze and the body's already healing to a certain degree and then you tear it off and you got to start over again, I don't like that picture. I like to be able to pull it off, add more to it without disturbing what creation knows how to heal is taking care in the body that was designed to live and never die. God is good, folks. Give him the credit. Use the things he has for us. You know, we got into a topic this weekend about asparagus and the benefit they were and how it is when you use them and you cook them with garlic salt. Check up on that your own, because I'm talking about honey today. The antifungal properties of Manuka honey make it effective treatment for fungi, diseases such as ringworm and tinea infections, TINEA. Scientists put this down to the complex nature of honey's antimicrobial effects. Manuka honey can also improve stubborn skin disorders like dermatitis. Scientists suggest that Manuka is able to tweak the immune system, which helps ease those conditions. Research is also beginning that so far findings are positive. Research finding out God knew what he was doing. Research saying you can use Manuka honey. You can use garlic. You can use vitamin D. You can use these things that are going to help to heal, essential oils. Give God credit and quit trying to take it away from him and that he's not important. Folks, we're killing ourselves because we're leaving God out of the picture. Ooh, Claiborne got to preaching there. Okay. I'm going to skip that part. Treating acid reflux, heartburn, and Gerds. A range of studies now suggest that honey is effective in treating stomach conditions. These included the esophagitis, heartburn, acid reflux, gastroesophageal reflux, and Gerds. Honey's natural viscosity means that it can stay longer in the esophagus as a protective anti-inflammatory coating. A coating on the skin, a coating in the throat. A coating God has made for it. A Manuka honey for stomach ulcers. This has been so good today. And this is being taped live on September the 6th, 2021. And you can actually go and pull this down on WHIG's. Go to Remedy This Naturally, and probably Brittany will have it done by Wednesday. And you can go look this up and you can listen to all this again about the benefits of the Manuka honey, the local honey, and talking about how it comes, where it comes from, and You're worth it. You are worth it because God made you in His image, His likeness, and it's what He made that's going to heal you. It's what He has made possible for us to assimilate and extract. God said that none of these diseases will come upon us if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing and taking care of Him. Oh, God. Manuka honey for stomach ulcers. Manuka honey for sore throats and coughs. Manuka honey for treating acne. Manuka honey for oral health. Conclusion. Scientific research now largely supports the health benefits of Manuka honey. By far the most conclusive evidence is related to wound healing and skin conditions. However, it is important to note that research is still in its infancy. If you're considering using Manuka honey to treat an illness, it's best to consult your doctor. Consider all the above Manuka honey benefits. It really does seem like a miraculous product, but nothing beats the fact that Manuka honey is not created in a laboratory. It's made by bees in the wilderness of New Zealand, and that is a miracle in itself. And also in Rocky Mount, your benefit. Honey is more than a word that you tell your spouse or someone you love. Honey is the answer, and try it. God bless. I'm Claiborne Holtzman. Check us out at Remedy This Naturally. Pick up your honey there and get the one that's best suited for your personal need. I'm Claiborne Holtzman. May good health be yours, and may God's remedy be sweet to you.